The early 1960s through the 1970s was a golden age for the American auto industry, as muscle cars grew not only in quantity, but also in quality. 1969 is a symbolic year that identifies the most momentous peak of that prolific era. In today's video, we're going to take a look at the 10 sickest muscle cars made in 1969. Plymouth A12 Roadrunner. In its brightest shape, this Plymouth A12 Roadrunner would feature a 440 cubic inch, 7.2-liter V8 with a factory 6-pack modification. 3x2 barrel Holley carburetors was added to the lineup. The A12 model was able to release 390 horsepower at 4,700 RPM and 490 pound-feet of torque at 3,200 RPM. The same torque as the HEMI, but at a lower engine speed. The Plymouth Roadrunner was named Motor Trend Car of the Year for 1969. Dodge Charger Daytona. Basically, the favorite Hot Wheels car model of all generations of kids, the Dodge Charger Daytona is simply amazing. And this one was assembled in the summer of 1969 with the aim of winning NASCAR races. Overall, the car won 2 races in 1969 and 4 in 1970. Built on the specifications of the Charger 500, this car features high-performance suspensions and brakes, and of course, the 7.2-liter V8 engine. Interestingly, this car is one of the 70 models produced with the bulky 7.2 V8. Chevrolet Impala SS 427 425 HP L72. For the Chevy Impala, 1969 was the last year of production under the SS, or Super Sport, optional package. This very model is equipped with the L72 427 turbojet engine, a solid lifter V8 with 425 horsepower, which was the most extreme engine available at the time. With some minor facelift works, the 1969 model is probably the last year in which a Chevy Impala could top the list of the best muscle cars in its golden era, because with the 5th generation Impala, from 1971 on, the model's power would be decreased. Chevrolet ZL1 Corvette Stingray. The 1969 ZL1 Corvette came equipped with an entirely new big block engine option that produced more horsepower than any Corvette that had been commercialized before it. Any Corvette, when ordered with RPO ZL1, came fitted with a factory all-aluminum 427 cubic inch engine that featured a dry sump oil system. A 1969 Corvette equipped with a ZL1 engine is considered the holy grail of Corvettes among collectors and enthusiasts. Capable of mighty performance, the 2,945-pound ZL1 was capable of a 0 to 60 mile/hour launch of just 4 seconds. The production was stopped in 1970 because of the EPA guidelines, making it one of the most exclusive and often sought-after Corvettes of all times. Pontiac GTO Ram Air 4. This 1969 Pontiac GTO was previously owned by John Cena, American professional wrestler, and this is one of only 239 that left the factory with a 4-speed manual transmission, paired to Pontiac's brawniest engine offering, the Ram Air 4 400 cubic inch V8 rated at 370 horsepower. With no fear of competition, this Pontiac GTO, in one of its better shapes, is a clear example of how American car makers at the time were competing among each other to offer the best performing muscle car. No ultimate winners though. All these models have something special and unique to offer. Chevrolet Chevelle L72 427 425 horsepower. The Chevelle, along with the Pontiac GTO, remained one of the best-selling cars of its time. With its high performance at a reasonable price, it became a very popular vehicle, both on the roads and on the track. This 1969 model is a COPO custom order, and it features the legendary 427 L72 V8 engine with 425 horsepower. Fully restored and brought back to its original glory, it also features a 4-speed manual transmission, which makes the drive feeling a bit more demanding but more satisfying as well. Plymouth 440 Barracuda. One of 358 Plymouth Barracuda 440s produced, this very model is packed with the second most powerful engine available at the time for the Cuda. After the 426 7.0-liter HEMI version, and only saw a few units built at the Hearst Performance, Warminster Township, Pennsylvania. From 1967 to 1971, the high-performance version was rated at 375 horsepower, and from 1969 to 1971, the highest output version had an intake setup with 3x2 barrel Holley carburetors producing 390 horsepower. Dodge Charger RT 427 HEMI. The 1969 Dodge Charger, with 426 V8 HEMI engine, became world famous thanks to the TV show starring the Duke cousins. Under the hood, the RT version in the series had the 426 HEMI engine, the most powerful of the available engines, with 425 horsepower. Compared to the production cars, General Lee stood out for the 15-inch American Racing Vector wheels instead of the standard steel ones, and for the HEMI engine. No doubt this is one of the most iconic muscle cars ever. Ford Mustang Boss 429 Fastback. The 1969 Ford Mustang Boss 429 is one of the rarest and most sought-after versions of the most iconic Ford muscle car. Built to compete with the Chrysler's HEMI, the 429 with 375 horsepower was designed to compete in NASCAR races. In its raven black suit, this is one of the 1,358 models produced between 1969 and 1970. Chevrolet Camaro ZL1. Number 62 of 69 produced, this is a unique example of Chevy Camaro ZL1 because it's the only one that features garnet red body paint and red interior. But the big surprise hides under the hood. This beast is packed with a serious ZL1 427 horsepower aluminum engine. This is one of only 12, incorporating a Muncie M22 Rock Crusher 4-speed manual transmission. Thanks to the almost 500 horsepower released by the huge V8, the 1969 Chevrolet Camaro ZL1 holds the distinction for being one of the fastest and most powerful American muscle cars of its time.